The excerpt of Honesty by Billy Joel that I'll be teaching you today contains 5 different chords that you'll play with your left hand and a very simple melody that you'll play with your right hand. You can download the free specialized sheet music of Honesty by clicking on the link directly below this video player. If you've already printed out the sheet music, then let's get started. Now, you may have noticed that the music looks very elementary, but I promise you this is all you need to create a professional, full-sounding piano arrangement. It's very easy to do, and I'm going to show you how to do it in this short 10-minute video lesson. Also, it's best to learn the right hand and left hand parts separately, and then when you can play each part comfortably, then it's best to put both hands together. So, if you're ready, let's start with the right hand melody. Okay, our right hand melody to Honesty by Billy Joel starts on the B directly above middle C. Here's middle C. Here's our starting note. We're going to start with our second finger on that B, and here we go. Now, we're going to move, so we're on the beginning of that measure 2. We got to move our 5th finger up to that F sharp. Now, those next 5 notes, we're going to come down. We're going to go 5, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to bring our second finger over on that low G. And when we do that, we're going to bring our hand around, and then the last note of that second measure, we're going to use our 3rd finger, because that will allow us to reach up with our 5th finger on that E. So let's go through that part again. And it's always a good idea to write in the fingering as you go. So you're going to start off with your second finger on that B. So you might want to write in a 2 over that B. Then we can get through that first measure. We got all those notes covered. Now we're going to reach up to that F sharp with our 5th finger. Alright, so the next 5 notes, let's write in the fingering. So 5 over the F sharp, 3 over the D sharp, second finger, so 2, you might want to write it underneath the note, so 2 under the B, 1 under the A, and then you're going to bring your second finger over, so write in a 2 underneath that G, bring the hand around, and then write in a 3 above that B. Alright, so that brings us to measure 3. Now this is a Billy Joel song, so his fingerings are a little more challenging than most. Alright, so reach up with your 5th finger. Now we're going to go 5, 4, 2, 1, 2. Alright, so let's do it again. So beginning of measure 3, that high E, so 5, 4 over the C, 2 over the, or you can write it underneath, 2 under the A, 1 under the G, and then you're going to bring your second finger over for that F sharp. Bring the hand back around once again. Okay, that is the right hand melody to Honesty by Billy Joel. Now, like I said, Billy Joel songs are not the easiest. This is challenging here. So replay this as many times as necessary. When you feel comfortable, then move on to the next part and I will show you the left hand chords. Okay, the left hand chords to Honesty by Billy Joel. Now there are 6 chords in just this short excerpt. We're going to start with our C chord. So here is middle C. Our first chord is going to be that first, start on that first C to the left of middle C. Our C chord is C, E, and G. Now good fingering is pinky, middle finger, and thumb. A good alternative would be your ring finger, your pointer, and your thumb. So basically try both and see which one is more comfortable for you. Okay, so our C major chords, C, E, and G. Now, if you're real new to chords and you have to write these notes in above each chord symbol as a nice helpful reminder, do it. Whatever you need to help you remember these chords. Because once we start putting both hands together, if you come to a chord symbol and you kind of get stuck, it's nice to be able to just look above that chord symbol and see the notes that go into that chord symbol. All right, so our first chord is C chord. We're going to move to the right. There's our D major chord, D, F sharp, and A. Okay, we're going to move to the left. We have our B major chord. So our B major chord is B, D sharp. Now what you may have to do, you may have to move the hand up to get that F sharp, at least comfortably. Okay, so from left to right we want B, D, and F sharp. Let me kind of move my hand out of the way. Let's see. Here's our D sharp. Here's our F sharp. Okay. So, and once again, when you're using your left hand, you may have to slide up here so your thumb can comfortably reach that F sharp. So B, D sharp, and F sharp. Next chord is the E minor. We're going to move to the left. E minor is E, G, and B. Now you notice our chord symbol, that little M there stands for minor. Now our first three chords of this song were major chords. The C major chord, the D major chord, and the B major chord. You'll notice when it's a major chord, you're just going to see the letter all by itself. It's not like you're going to see a big M after the letter that stands for major. When you just see the letter all by itself, you assume major. So our first three chords are majors, so C, D, and B are major chords. Then we move to that next chord, the E minor. We know it's minor because it has that little M in the chord symbol. The E minor is E, G, and B. Back to the C chord, C, E, and G. D major, move to the right. D, F sharp, and A. Okay, our last two chords of the song are A minor chord. We're going to move up to the right. A minor is A, C, and E. So that A minor chord is on that last note of line 1. And then the last chord of the song in line 2 is our G major chord. G, B, and D. Okay, so replay this part as many times as necessary. When you feel comfortable with the right hand melody and the left hand chords, then move on to the next section and I'll show you how to play both hands together. Okay, here is Honesty by Billy Joel, both hands played together. Alright, so you'll notice our first melody note is the B. You'll notice directly above that is the C chord symbol. So that tells you they get played at the same time. Okay, now you finish that melody note, the A. Now we have another chord here, so when you come up to that C note, you'll notice the D chord directly above that. So they get played together. Okay, now there are no other chords in that measure, so finish the melody note. Now we're at the beginning of measure 2. So I'm going to reach up to that F sharp with my pinky. You'll notice the chord symbol right above that F sharp is the B major chord. So they get played together. Now while you have the B chord held down, you're going to play that D sharp, B, and the A. Now I'm going to bring my second finger over on that G. Right above that G is the E minor chord symbol. So we got a chord change here. There's our E minor chord. Okay, play that B while you still have the E minor chord held down. Okay, now we're at the beginning of measure 3. So I'm reaching up to that high E. Directly above that E is the C chord. So they get played together while you keep the C chord held down. finish out those next 3 notes. That's going to bring me all the way down to the F sharp. I'm going to bring my second finger over. That F sharp lines up with the D chord. They get played together. Okay. Now, I'm going to play those 2 A notes. When I play the second one, that's when I come in with the A minor chord. Okay, now we are last chord of the song, line 2. So you'll notice I'm getting ready to play the G melody note. Directly above that is the G chord symbol. They get played together. Now, like I said before, this is a very challenging song. So you're going to want to take this very slow. That's why I said learn the right hand melody, get real comfortable with that. Learn the chords by themselves. Get that very comfortable. And now when you go to put both hands together, it's going to be a very slow process. But if you go through this very slowly, just finding the chord and the note that lines up, don't even worry if the song doesn't quite sound like anything yet. Just worry about getting everything in the right spot. The speed will come later. Okay, let me play it up to speed so you know what it's going to sound like when you finally get it to that point. Okay, that's Honesty by Billy Joel. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. My name is Guy Fawkes, and this is EasyChordPianoLessons.com.